about files and exceptions. Up to now, when we are doing all these calculations, all of these operations were on RAM. What does it mean? RAM is a volatile memory. So when I turn off the computer, I will lose all my calculations. None of them is permanent. All of them are temporary. So I would like to make my data, make my calculations not temporary, so that I will be able to access them after I turn off the computer and turn on again. So what I should do is I should be able to write my code to my disk, to the hard disk. So this is writing to a file, means that saving our data to a file in the hard disk. So we would like to move our data in RAM to the hard disk. And like, let's say that you are playing a game and then you would like to just give a pause, maybe you'll continue later on. Or you are writing an assignment, doing an assignment, preparing a file, one of homework, and then you would like to continue next day. What we do is we save it. So what happens is, basically whatever we have written so far will be moved to the hard disk, so that the next day when we come back, we can continue our work. So this is what we would like to do. And like, we saved our game or saved our file to continue, and then next day we open the file. So what is happening is we need to read data from the hard disk and load it to the RAM. So load it to RAM so that we can continue. So this is also what we would like to do. We would like to get the data and put it back in our program so that we can proceed. This part is pretty important, like for the also engineering students. Like, you have many data, maybe scientific data, you have some observations, numbers, you would like to process them. Or maybe you are getting some signals and then you would like to process them. You have some images, you would like to process them. So actually this is pretty important. We are not always asking users to input data. We also would like to process files and process them and so on. And when we are talking about files, we have two different files. One of them text file. A text file is like the notepad file that we are writing. They are the files that for us to read. Like, if there's a document and I would like to read it, then we write as a text file. But we also have a binary data. What is this? Well, the binary data is not for us. It's not for us to read. It's actually for computers to read. What does it mean? Well, let's say that you are playing a game in a game you have many variables. Like, let's say that you have a character, it has a life, probably it's an integer. Or maybe its status, is it online, offline, maybe it's a boolean. So you are keeping this data. And each of them kept as a different way in your RAM. And then when I want to load or save the data, like I would like to continue later on, how can I write this data? If I write it as a text file, like, I need to convert it to everything to string so that people can read. But the thing is, we don't read those files. Like, whoever opens a saved file and try to understand it, they are not readable files, and it's not for us to read. It's not useful. But the computer, when we want to load it, it will load Boolean value. It will load the integer, float, as it is. For how we write to RAM in a binary file, how we keep it in RAM, we also write it in the file. We write it as it is in the disk, so that for the computer, it will be faster to write and read. So we are not trying to convert it to string so that some people can read it. So in short, we have two files. Text files are for us to read. Binary files are for the computers to read and process. And we have two ways to access the data. In a sequential access, which means that you can only read the data step by step. Like, I will read the first byte, and then the second byte, and the third byte, and so on. But in a direct access, what it means is, well, I will read first byte, and I will go and read the 50th byte, and I will jump back to, I will read the 20th byte, and then go to the end of the document, come back to the first. So I have a direct access. I can go wherever I would like. I can go. This is called direct access.